Mike Miller with Miller Marine Products, and you can visit our website at millermarineproducts.com, and if you have any questions you can give us a call at 360-896-0481. This is the assembly of the 40-inch table. In each box you'll get a set of instructions, and on that set of instructions it's going to give you on the front page all of the parts that you should have in the box. I've gone ahead and we've got this out of the box, and I've got all the parts spread out, and here's all my screws. Now if you purchase the optional leader holder, and you can also purchase extra knife holders on the 32 and 40-inch table, which will be covered under this instructional video, you can add 2 extra set of knife holders, and then you can also add this leader holder attachments. And I have 2 sizes of knife holder attachments. If you use the big wide blade butcher knife type fillet knives, then you're going to want the large size. This is a small size. I've got them one backwards, one forward, just to show you that the slots are not machined all the way through on purpose, so that when you push your knife through, it form fits to the blade and it stays tight. It does come with 1 set of knife holders. There's a spot for on the 32 and 40-inch table to put as many as 3 sets of knife holders, so you can hold 3 knives on there. Now this is the leader roller, and these are the 2 ears for the leader roller attachment. One of them, the hole is machined all the way through, and the other one has got a blind hole. So if you purchase these, it'll come with these parts. This piece here with the logo on it, this is our gutting tray. That's the front of the gutting tray. This is the back of the table. This is the front of the gutting tray. These are the sides of the gutting tray. This is the scent holder bottom for the gutting tray. Now if you're facing the table, this would be your right side with the pluck cut herring jigs and the knife holders holes, and this would be your left side. And then of course you've got your tabletop. Here's your tabletop with the mounts already installed. We're going to put the back together, and now keep in mind that if you didn't purchase these optional parts, the extra knife holders and the leader roller attachment, you can either put the 1 set of knife holders that it came with in this position, or you can put it on the side. That's your choice. So you may or may not do this step at all, depending on whether you purchase these options. So first thing is, I'm going to put this leader roller attachment on, and if you'll notice, this is the one that's not bored all the way through, and you want that, whether you put it right or on the left side, it needs to face in towards the other ear. Now I want to let you know that these screws can be stripped out and over tightened. If you don't know the torque settings real well with your driver, you may want to use a hand screwdriver to put these together. It just takes a Phillips screwdriver. So to quicken the video, I'm going to put it together with this driver. I put together hundreds of them, and I know I won't strip the holes out. Now, I'm going to put 1 set of knife holders on the back here. You can, if you didn't purchase either of the extra knife holders, you can put the 1 set that you got with the table here or on the other side, or you can put it on the right side of the side of the table. The way these are, your handle, your knife will come out, stick out from the side where you can easily grab it. And it keeps the blade kind of away from everything so that there's you don't accidentally get cut or cut a line or something by mistake. Make sure that when you're attaching these parts that you face the slots away so that when you push your knife through for the first time, it'll be easy to see where the machine slot is. Okay, so that's an assembled back, short of putting the leader attachment on. I'm not going to put that on until we're done with the whole table. So we would at this point just set this aside. Okay, we're going to install some knife holders on the right side of the side itself. And the right side is the part that's got the countersunk holes with the plug cut herring jig built into the side of it. So you want to take your knife holder and you want this slot facing towards the front of the table, which is this rounded off portion. So let's put the first one on. Put the second one on. Now if you didn't purchase the any of the optional knife holders, you can either put that one set that the table comes with in this position, or you could put it on the back. There are two different positions that are drilled for it on the back side of the table. Okay, so there's the right side assembled. Now we're going to assemble the gutting tray. You got the right and left side of the gutting tray. You've got the scent holder bottom, and then you've got the scent holder and these detents, and it will hold some cannonball weights and so on this part here for the gutting tray. It's the front part of the gutting tray. You'll notice that these are all pre-drilled so that you're not locating the holes. You're just going to match those up to the holes in the gutting tray itself. So one side of the side with the logo is where you're going to want the front of the gutting tray, and make sure that you have these indentations shown. Make sure they're up so that you'll be able to use those. I'm trying to do this the best I can to keep the view for you. It's not the way I would normally hold this to put it together, but okay. Do that. Look at it here. Now this assembly covers the 32 and the 40-inch table. The difference between the tables, besides the size, is that with the 40-inch table, this screw is here. On the 32-inch table, there won't be this screw. So if you're putting together a 32-inch table, it goes together the same way. Just there's three less screws in it. Notice how everything fits together easily. We're not forcing anything because it's all been drilled, and then on both parts have been drilled on CNC equipment. Now we're going to put the back side, or the sides on, and you're going to want this machined hex part facing in. So that will determine which side. There's a right and a left. They're not interchangeable. And then there's a screw that comes in from the end. Let me show you there. Right here. Okay, now we put the other side together same way, with the hex facing in. A little easier once you get one side on because it stands up for you. here. This bottom holds the scent bottles up off of the tabletop. Both the 32 and the 40-inch table have this piece. The 24-inch table, the scent bottles simply set on the top of the table. So that's what your finished gutting tray should look like once it's assembled. So we're going to set it aside. This is the tabletop. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off by putting the left side on. Now the left side goes where your plier slots are. It fits like this. And so we're going to go ahead and assemble that now. If you're assembling a 32-inch table, it will not have this screw. It will only have the one on each end. The 40-inch table being a little wider, I decided to go ahead and add an extra screw. This is a 40 by 14 table. The 32-inch table is 13 inches wide. So now that I have that on there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the back on the table next. You'll notice that there's some dado slots here, and the back of the table fits into those slots. And I've not put the other side on purpose. It just makes putting the gutting tray on a little bit easier. So I'm going to put these screws in from the back. Takes a screw in the middle. Okay, the back is on. Okay, now the reason I didn't put this side on is it makes it easier to install the gutting tray. So if you look, those hex pockets, we're going to put these 2 hex bolts in there, one on each side. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and line this one up, push it through there, and fasten it on the one side.
Okay.
Now I'm going to take the right side and I'm going to set it down in its dado slots here. That bolt pushing through there. There we go. Now it's lined up. The gutting tray can be put in afterwards. I just find it's a little bit easier to get everything lined up before it's bolted down solid. So there we go. Now it's attached. There we go. And in place. And a minute ago I didn't show you, but there was one screw in the back that I put into the side there. That's in. Now I'm going to turn the table to the back here where I can get to the last 3 screws. You can see they go here, here, and here. It's kind of hard to hold this big table and keep it in the video, but these last 3 screws go in here. Okay, so we have a table that's assembled, all except for the mounts on the bottom. And depending on whether you purchase my mounts or not, the next step, if you're using a custom mount, you'll still get the hardware for the bottom, and I'm going to show you what the bottom looks like, but you can see how the table is all put together, and you can see how nice a job the CNC does. Everything fits perfect. You're not trying to force screw holes in that don't line up. Everything lines up perfect. And so now we're going to go ahead and do the mounts on the bottom. Okay, so the bottom of the table, you can see how these slots in them, and they're designed for a 1/4 inch carriage bolt. And these are stainless steel. Of course, all the hardware I use is stainless, and they slide right in like this. On the 32 and 40 inch table, you've got 2 sets of mounts on it. My 24 inch table only has 1 mount in the center. Now these tables are too large for just 1 mount. Okay, and if you don't buy my mount and you're going to make your own custom mount, you're going to end up with these 4 1/4 inch bolts. You're going to get the hardware with it, the wing nuts and the round washers and lock washers, all to make your own custom mount. But I offer mounts that I machine to fit fish-on, Folby, or Scotty rod holders. This particular one is machined to fit a Folby type. And so if you look, there's a little pin on the end, and then on your plate here you got 4 different positions that you can align that with. And so that fits on there like that, and then we take a little 1/4 inch flathead machine screw with an Allen head in the end of it, and that's what holds that on. Okay, so there's a mount. And again, this particular one is for a Folby. This is a Folby rod holder here. It plugs right in there, and if you lock it over, it works just like the other ones, you know, where you can raise it up and rotate it. So the nice thing about it is, if you want it to index into a different slot, you can just take this out and move it a position. So then you take this mount and you line up with your holes here, and you can see how that's adjustable. So you have adjustment on how the table mounts fore and aft. Then we take and put 2 flat washers, 2 lock washers, and we got wing nuts for this, so it's easy to take them on and off. And then the other reason that I used wing nuts instead of hex nuts is because I really don't want you putting a wrench on it. If you over tighten these, you'll damage the plastic inside, and then you won't be able to slide it anymore. And you really only need this tight enough that you collapse your lock washer, and then that won't damage your plastic. And the other part of it is you can easily take it on and off. It doesn't need to be any tighter than that. So on this particular table, we'd put another one there. Now, if you'll notice, there's a pre-drilled hole at the end of the slot on these, and we have these, there should be a couple of small panhead type screws that you can put in there. And they're really not structural. What they're for is so that if you did have this loose, it would come up and stop, and you wouldn't dump your table out in the water somewhere because it slid off the end. So that's the only reason for those screws to be there. It's simply to stop the carriage bolt from coming all the way out. Okay, I'm going to remove this mount just so it'll be easier for me to move the table around and kind of demonstrate a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this stuff out so it sits flat on the bottom again. And we needed to get our leader holder attachment. We got the 2 ears on there, but we didn't install our leader attachment yet. We got this spring clip that pulls out. And we're going to get this like this. Now, you're going to push your axle through, line up, and then you'll be able to access the hole on the inside right here, and the spring clip goes in there and locks it into place. There we go. That keeps it from having something exposed that you could hook with a line, and makes it really easy to pull out. You just put your finger in there and pull it out, and you remove this. A lot of people will take, and what I do on my boat is I cut about 5 inches of this foam roller off with the PVC pipe. Then I can put spools of line with line keepers on them, so I can have access to dropper lines or leader material when I'm using the table.